Ben Simmons might also be the weakest, most pathetic excuse for a professional athlete we have ever seen.
What I'm disappointed with Westbrook is this man was a bona fide scrub.
Some NBA players have endured brutal disrespect from both the media,
James Harden definitely had a pregame meal,
and fans. These are the top 10 most disrespected players in NBA history. Starting off with number 10, we got one of the greatest players of all time, Kevin Durant. While many people do acknowledge Kevin Durant's talent, a lot of fans and media have called the superstar soft and weak.
Well, I'm viewing it as the weakest move I've ever seen from a superstar. Plain and simple. That's just how I look at it.
Now, don't get me wrong. I get the frustration with Durant for joining the Warriors back in 2016.
Let's go. Rip it. Trash. It's all trash. You're all trash.
But it's been nearly 9 years since Durant has made that decision, and he still sees a lot of hate. More so from NBA fans than the media. Some people feel Durant has to prove he can lead a team to a championship without it being a super team.
I'm not going to say everything. Here's what I will say about Kevin Durant. I warned him. I warned everybody that loves Kevin Durant. I love Kevin Durant.
But I think Durant's insane resume speaks for itself. With an MVP, 4 gold medals, 2 rings, and 2 finals MVPs, he will go down as one of the greatest to play this game, whether people like it or not. At number 9, we got another former Warrior, Javale McGee. While McGee wasn't disrespected by most media members, or most fans for that matter, there is one media member who has given JaVale a hard time throughout his NBA career. Now I bet most of you can guess who that is. It's obviously none other than Hall of Famer Shaquille O'Neal. During his famous segment, Shaq in a Fool, he used to terrorize JaVale.
How is he here? JaVale McGee is back! Sit on the Shaq to throw. Sometimes people try to pull the chair. He's back!
He showed JaVale McGee's worst moments on his show every week.
Number 1. Oh, come on, you gotta keeps on giving. Watch the goaltend by JaVale McGee.
Actually, that was a pretty good block.
I don't think that was goal.
Shaq made JaVale appear as the clown of the NBA, and many fans would be waiting to see him make a mistake.
JaVale McGee! No, he couldn't. Everybody said JaVale ball, JaVale ball. Come on, man. Everybody at home, JaVale ball.
While JaVale McGee is no Hall of Famer, the center has had quite a solid NBA career, winning 3 NBA championships and a gold medal. But to many, McGee will always be known as that guy from Shaq and a Fool. At number 8, we have a current superstar, depending on who you ask, that is. We're talking about Jayson Tatum. Tatum has been in the spotlight since he's entered the NBA, and by all means, he's delivered. But being named first-team All-NBA for 3 straight years, winning a championship, and winning a gold medal just hasn't been enough to please many NBA fans. The NBA community is insanely critical of Tatum, claiming he's overrated. While it's obvious Tatum won't go down as being the greatest player of all time, he is on track to be a Hall of Famer and one of the greatest Celtics players of all time. But don't get me wrong, I'll admit it, those Jayson Tatum memes are funny. At number 7, we got another Celtic, Paul Pierce. Now the Paul Pierce disrespect is a little funny because when he was playing, everyone knew he was the truth. But after he retired and entered the media, a lot of fans forgot just how good he actually was. Now don't get me wrong, Paul Pierce didn't do himself any favors by saying he was a better shooter than Klay Thompson.
Play a better wing shooter than you were in your prime.
But you're asking Paul. I'm going to say no.
And that he was a better player than Dwayne Wade.
Paul, riddle me this. Who's the better NBA player?
That's easy. I can say that off the bat. That's me. If you give me Shaq, if you give me LeBron.
Paul Pierce may overrate himself a bit, but the dude was a baller. A 10-time All-Star, Finals MVP, and Hall of Famer. There's a reason they called this man the truth. Here at number 6, we got Klay Thompson. Hating on Klay Thompson seems to be a new trend by NBA fans. Back in the day, it seemed like everyone loved Klay. When he was injured, and had to sit out for 2 straight NBA seasons, the majority of NBA fans missed watching him on the court. And almost every NBA fan loves seeing him come back and help lead the Warriors to another championship in 2022. But since then, many NBA fans have turned on him, making his bad performances a meme. While it's obvious, Klay isn't the same player he once was, but the 4-time NBA champion deserves a bit more respect in my opinion. Klay has come back from 2 career-changing injuries, and he's still a big impact player. We'll see if Klay can win back the NBA fans during his next chapter in Dallas. At number 5, we got the biggest snub from the NBA Top 75 list, Dwight Howard. In 2021, when the NBA selected a list of the top 75 players of all time and left Dwight's name off, we saw just how bad the disrespect truly was.
I am so disappointed at this list because Dwight Howard gets disrespected so much it's ridiculous.
With 8 All-Star appearances, 8 All-NBA selections, 3 Defensive Player of the Year awards, and an NBA championship, Dwight's name should have been on that list. Dwight's goofy personality has had fans and media questioning how serious he really takes the game. But in the near future, Dwight will be a first ballot Hall of Famer, and he should be remembered as one of the greatest defensive centers to ever play the game. Now at number 4, we got another future first ballot Hall of Famer. I'm talking about Draymond Green. We all know Draymond as a player with a loud mouth, and this has brought upon a lot of extra disrespect towards him. Green has been called the most overrated player ever by some fans.
I think Draymond's super overrated, just as an overall player.
Even though Draymond's game does have flaws, we can't deny his impact on winning. Draymond has played a huge role in the Warriors' success, and he's racked up some accolades for himself along the way. He may talk a big game, but he also backs it up, and he shouldn't be disrespected for that. Number 3 on our list goes to Rudy Gobert. And yeah, I know, you probably think Rudy Gobert is overrated too, and he should be hated on. And Shaq would agree with you.
I think it's a little overrated on that side.
Yeah, I definitely think so. Oh, Rudy?
Yes.
Thank you.
He might hate Rudy Gobert even more than he hates McGee, and that's saying something. From calling Gobert overpaid.
I'm not going to hate, but this should be an inspiration to all the little kids out there. If you average 11 points in the NBA, you can get 200 million.
To posting edited pictures of him dunking on Gobert on his Instagram. Shaq has had it out for Rudy, but the reality is, Gobert will end up as a future Hall of Famer. He has 4 Defensive Player of the Year awards in counting, tied for the record. He also has won 2 Olympic medals. Gobert may be overpaid, but he is a valuable asset on the court, and his resume speaks for itself. Things are about to get interesting. At number 2, we have James Harden. James Harden is no doubt one of the most polarizing players in the history of the NBA. While some love his game, others have argued that his play style would never win a championship.
I think I'm not a fan of in terms of winning championships. I don't think that style is ever going to win championships.
People have also criticized individual aspects of his game, from claiming he travels, especially on his step back, to saying his foul-baiting offense is not entertaining and shouldn't be allowed. Some of these complaints on James Harden may be valid, but the reality is, if other players could do what James Harden did, they would. Let's talk about some James Harden stats real quick. Over a 4-year stretch in Houston, from 2017 to 2020, Harden averaged 32.4 points, 8.8 assists, and 6.7 rebounds. The dude was a problem. He had the league in the palm of his hands during that stretch. Now let's be fair, some of James Harden's hate may be justified. In the past, he did force his way out of multiple teams by demanding trades and even showing up to training camp overweight. But as a player, James Harden is one of the most prolific scorers in the history of the NBA. And finally, for number 1, the most disrespected player in NBA history is Russell Westbrook. From the media calling him a stat padder,
Russell Westbrook is padding his rebound stats,
to fans giving him the name Westbrick. Russ dealt with a lot of disrespect, and it's a shame because he's one of the best point guards to ever play this game. But the good thing is, we know the hate hasn't changed Westbrook on or off the court, and one day we'll be seeing him in the Hall of Fame. Did I leave any players out on this list? Let me know in the comments. I appreciate you watching the video all the way to the end. Derek out.